Good afternoon to everyone. It's a great pleasure to be with you this afternoon. We would like to thank you all for all the comments that we have received over the years and for your active participation in the covered bond label activities. This is part of the transparency exercise, as you know, following on from the decision taken, the official approval of the new HTT in Munich in September. We have decided to have two webinars to inform the entire community about the decision taken in Munich and to secure the maximum possible level of transparency and also homogeneity of reaction of the industry. In the last year, the covered bond label has become a real benchmark for lenders, for covered bond issuers, but especially for regulators and for decision takers here in Brussels. As you know, in the last years, several countries have started to use officially the HTT as a legal benchmark in their national legislation, which is an important achievement of the entire community. So in this respect, we would like to thank you for your activities. We reached a quite impressive market takeoff because we reached more than 175 labels for more than 130 issuers in more than 24 jurisdictions. I would like to stress the importance of our global overreaching capacity of putting on the same toolbox issuers from Singapore, from South Korea, from Australia, from Canada, and probably we will have new markets arriving in the coming weeks and the coming years. We are able to facilitate investor due diligence and to allow every single investor to compare very easily asset side information on the covered pool, but also on liabilities, but especially on the legislative framework protecting the covered bond investors. This tool has been really recognized by all the authorities around the globe as the major tool in support of the covered bond community. Against this background, the Covered Bond Label Committee feels the responsibility of bringing concrete action into the market and also the responsibility to capture innovation, but at the same time maintaining the tradition and the quality of the covered bond space. Every year, as you know, we started the collection of feedback, and most of you have sent us proposal or highlighting something maybe is not working very in an optimal way, and we try to implement your suggestion in the new HTT. Over the summertime, we discussed with the label committee and we found an agreement among all the members of the label committee. And normally in September, we have the official approval of the new HTT. The purpose of the call today, it will be really to highlight to you the major addition that we have decided to implement in the HTT. As you know, the new HTT, the HTT 2024, it's mandatory for all the covered bond issues, starting with Q1, with the disclosure of the Q1 data for next year. However, we invite all of you to use the new template as soon as possible, especially because in terms of ESG information, we have made some important modifications that can really facilitate investors in their due diligence. With this, I would like maybe to pass the floor to Daniele, who is the master behind this, and trying to guide you on the new additions that we have decided to implement in the HTT. But please be aware, this is a forum for answering to your questions. So don't hesitate to interrupt us and to raise any question that you should have. We will have also a second webinar in November. The scope of having two webinars it is to secure the maximum transparency of what we are doing and allowing all the issuers to implement in the same way and in an harmonized way all the modifications that we have been proposing and we have approved in September. Daniele, I give you the floor, and I thank you all for your kind attention this afternoon.
Thank you, Luca, and good afternoon also from my side. Luca already very nicely set the scene of this webinar. This is really an informative moment the Secretariat of the Covered Bond Label would like to provide you in order to give you a sense of a lot of things which have now been changed, updated, and also on the HTT, but also in the wider scope on the covered bond label. The slide you see here really shows in a nutshell what we have accomplished until now on the HTT. The HTT has been approved last month, the HTT 2024 version, and now we are in this, let's say, phase-in period of 6 months where you can either use the 23 or the 24 version. As Luca also said, and I would like to echo it, it's always good to start using the 24 version as soon as possible. The next slides, I would like to show you really the list of amendments. I would not go through all the amendments because most of them you will see are of a cosmetic change. But if also for your IT persons may be interesting or important to know specifically which changes have been done, you can just drop us an email and we can send you also the HTT highlighted with the sections which have been changed. You will see most of them are really changes of cosmetic changes. I highlighted here, well, you see the list of the 19 amendments which have been done between the 23 and the 24 version. This list is also present in the HTT 24 page on the worksheet completion instruction. You see the list there with all the precise, let's say, references. Let me, however, I would not now go through all of them because it would take too much time. At the end of this presentation, I put in annex the precise locations, and I will share with you these slides. And but I would like to delve on these 2 points, point number 5 and point number 19, which are, in our opinion, the most, let's say, important changes we have done. In the worksheet A, HTT general section, we have updated, this is very important for those who have sustainable covered bonds. We have updated the sustainable or special purpose strategy section. Before, we just really in a high level asked them whether there was strategy behind it or not, considering that if you had some information, you would include them in the F1 tab. However, considering that several issues came back to us and said, well, our sustainable covered bonds are not based on sustainable sustainable assets inside the cover pool, but are mostly due to the fact that they are reinvesting or investing, financing or refinancing in sustainable projects. There was not this link, so we have updated this section and provided you the possibility to either or indicate whether your sustainable assets are in the core pool or not in the core pool. If they are not in the core pool, we ask you to provide, in any case, some general information on what your proceed strategy is, who has provided the second part, your opinion. And if they are in the cover pool, we also ask you then to fill out the F1 tab if you are working with a mortgage-based cover pool, or a new point, the F2 tab. We have now set up a new, let's say, sustainable public sector cover pool, and this is the second large addition we have added to this year's HTT, which we would like to stress your focus on. These are, and besides these, we have updated there were, as always, some cells which were blocked, which needed to be unblocked. There were some typos in titles or in stratification, so smaller things which you will see in the HTT in the Excel file itself. With this, as said, the HTT is now available. Both. I've sent you an email a couple of weeks ago, shortly after we had our the official approval of the HTT. But the HTT can be also downloaded directly on our website, coveredbondlabel.com. And as said, we invite you to use it as soon as possible. On the HTT 2024, are there I would like to open the floor if there are any, let's say, specific questions on these points, or if you have any, let's say, any consideration or suggestions or comments on on the HTT, which we're really happy also to listen to. If not, just let me also remind you another point which we are currently working on in the Secretariat. Considering that the HTT guideline we have also uploaded on the website is a little bit dated, we are working on an updated version as we are receiving also several, let's say, bilateral requests for clarification on certain sections and how they needed to be interpreted / filled out. To this end, if you see also here any specific doubts on certain sections of the HTT, please let us know, and we will come also, we would like to also clarify them in a refreshed HTT guideline. Linked to the HTT, we would like also to provide some further ESG considerations, considering that currently the ESG sections, the ESG reporting in our HTT is growing month by month. The last time I checked, we had over 135 billion of euro or euro equivalent outstanding of ESG or sustainable covered bonds, made up by 141 issuances from 14 jurisdictions. In a nutshell, those covered bonds with that green leaf. And considering that there is more and more interest in the information, also in the underlying information of the assets linked to these covered bonds, the Label Committee has decided to be a little bit more proactive regarding the disclosure of information of these sustainable covered bonds and on their underlying assets, asking every labeled issuer who has a sustainable covered bond issued on the covered bond label website, visible with a green leaf, that by Q3, by the cutoff date of Q3 2023, so the HTT published by the 15th of November this year, that all these covered bonds have an underlying, let's say, relevant disclosure information in the HTT. As we said before, we have these two situations. So for those labeled issuers who do not have sustainable assets in their cover pool, but they have a sustainable covered bond, we kindly ask to fill out the section 3.14 I showed you before in the HTT general sheet, and therefore also to use the new HTT 2024 version, because they have this specific outline which it takes into consideration also non-sustainable assets in their cover pool. For those who have sustainable assets in their cover pool, so they disclose information on their sustainable assets in the F1 tab, for example, we kindly ask them to continually filling out the section 3.14. If you're a mortgage-based cover pool, to fill out as well the F1 tab, so the tab where the sustainable mortgages are located. And in this case, of course, again, we invite you to use the HTT 2024 version already, but the 23 version still makes it, because you have still the 3.14, which provides you the necessary information, and the F1 tab is the same as the F1 tab in the 2024. If, however, you are a public sector loan-based cover pool, and therefore you need to use the new F2 tab we have now set up, we kindly ask you then to start using from Q3 23 already the HTT 2024 version, so you can take into consideration also this point. As a general reminder, because this is a little bit dislinked from this first part I said to talk to you about the sustainable covered bonds. As a general reminder, on a best effort basis, we are all very, very welcome to receive in your HTTs all ESG related information you can report in the B1 tab as well, so for the general mortgage assets, and of course in the F1 tab and the F2 tab. This means that all this information on EPC information, on energy demand, house or CREH structure, type of dwelling, we have these 5-6 sections which are we invite everybody to fill out at their best effort. We know it's a difficult exercise, challenging exercise, especially for the stock information of your mortgages. But we can assure you that here in Brussels and in Frankfurt, they are looking quite intensively on these type of information. So if we are able to provide them in this format, this is highly appreciative, and I have to say you're already doing a great job. We see an ongoing growth of these type of reports, but we like to push you out of your comfort zones to provide this information as soon and as at the best effort you can.
Maybe, Daniele,
Yes.
sorry, just to stress even more what you are saying is that the success of the covered bond label is also the success of the entire community as covered bond issuers to position ourselves in the middle of the political debate around energy performance building directive, but more generally on the renovation wave of the European Commission. So the fact that we can say, for example, we have already 135 billion of ESG covered bond is strategically important for the entire industry. It's a question of reputation, a question of really trying to be part of the democratic process of the new legislation. We are proposing solutions very concretely with the energy efficiency mortgage label, for example, which is just mirroring what you have been doing in the covered bond label. So any effort in these sectors to improve transparency, to disclose data, will have actually an impact on our strategic positioning of the industry in the current legislative debate. So really, please don't underestimate how important it is to be very precise, to be very coordinated. And the ECBC is trying to make an effort to coordinate the entire industry and provide a common way to position ourselves in legislation here in Europe, but also in all the countries where the covered bond label is active. So this is a very important step for our initiative in order to be at the center of the political debate as a solution, as a way how the industry doesn't need new regulation, but is able to auto-discipline and to try to propose solution without new regulation. Thank you. Sorry, Daniele, for stealing 2 minutes.
No problem. Absolutely important, this message. If there are no further questions or comment on this part, I would like to go to the next one, which is the annual renewal of the covered bond label. It's again this time of the year, end October, when we start the renewal process of the covered bond label. The process is de facto already open. If you go on your dashboard, you can already now renew your cover pools. And as always, as every year, we highly recommend you to finalize this renewal at your earliest convenience, and absolutely by before the 31st of December of this year, because in order not to have to repay the registration fee in next year, because if by the end of this year we do not see your cover pool renewed, it will be automatically fall out of the label, and it has to undergo again the registration process from the beginning. So this is an important point to stress. We will send out tomorrow official email to everybody, or labeled issuers, that the renewal process is opened, and monitor, as we did last year's, the progress of this. Generally, we will send out, in order to not to reach the last days of December in a hustle, we will reach out with regular reminders, I would say in November, once every week, and by December, those who have not yet renewed, we will come back to you also by phone. We know that there are some situations where there need to be done some budget discussions, and only after a certain date in December that they can officially commit to the label. If this is the case with you, please send us just an email just so we know what is going on, and so we do not fear to lose you from the label. And yeah, this is it. And linked to that, we would like also to remind you, we also already sent you this notification during our last email. We'd like to remind you that the label committee has approved a new label fee structure, or better, a new label fee, annual label fee amount. The structure remains the same, in consideration that the fees have not changed since 2017, and there had been also, especially over the last couple of years, high inflation. It was necessary also here to adjust the annual label fee from till this year 3,800 euro per cover pool to starting from next year 4,650 euro. The initial registration fee remains the same, 5,000 euro one-off at registration, and volume issuance fee remains as well the same. So €1 for every 1 billion euro of new covered bonds issued in the reference year, or better, registered on the cover bond label website. So and this fee is kept at 5,000. We will, of course, when we are going to send out the annual fees in January, the fee invoices in January, these will be the structure we will refer to.
Maybe Daniela, just to give us some kind of overview of what we are trying to do. We want to transform the cover bond label website as the major gateway for cover bond information. So in theory, investors can access on a single point of information to get a series of important compliance information for their due diligence. We're working on two major trajectories. First of all, improve the content. And also accessibility to the content. I mean, maybe Edo, I don't know if you can, we are trying to change over the weeks, over the month, a single thing, and trying to improve this kind of, the way how we can reach this information. Daniel, I would like to ask you after Edo intervention, if you can spend maybe a bit of time on the due diligence and exactly how we can improve altogether accessibility to the information, but maybe Edo, we give you the floor to introduce what we are trying to implement and what we are trying to do here.
Yes, with pleasure. Thank you, Luca, and thank you, Daniele. Let me take this opportunity to make two remarks. There is a new section on the Cover Bond Label website that will allow you to access the recording of today's webinar. It will be available from tomorrow. You will also receive the link directly to the registration in the email that Daniele will send out tomorrow. Second, concerning the renewal of your cover pool, there is the possibility to see, to watch a tutorial specifically on the renewal that will allow you to be followed on a step-by-step basis. So there will be no issue throughout the process. The new additions to the Cover Bond Label website, which have started earlier this year, are many as of today. And in the next couple of minutes, I will try to maybe underline the ones that are most relevant for you as issuers. In this slide, you can actually see the way in which your information can be accessed with the API function. Basically, users and the public in general can access your information by requesting a token to use with an API reader. This is actually something that simplifies the access to the information that are present on the website. We are also currently developing the possibility for you to upload through API all the information about your pools. So you will be indeed notified once this is going to be available. We are currently in a test phase. In the next slide, you can see the way in which your visibility, so the visibility of your page as issuer on the cover bond label, has increased because we have created a specific link with a specific logo, which you can see, for example, in this case, for Belgian issuers, on the website of the comparative database. There is an extra section for all the issuers highlighting how many labeled issuers are present in one country. And for each of them, each of you, it's possible to access directly your page on the cover bond label website. In the next slide, you can instead see the way in which the national country page on the cover bond label has been developed. This is, let's say, more relevant for the public because there's the possibility to access all the most up-to-date legislations, as well as video explanations made by our experts. Let's go to the next one.
Maybe, Edo, we can also invite everyone to make videos for the countries that have not yet completed. So we really invite all of you to make sure that we can have at least one video per country, because investors are using the videos quite a lot and is providing a sense of systemic support to your product in your country. So we really invite all the missing countries to make sure that you will have the opportunity to speak to Edo and maybe try to make a video. The video can be done in two ways. Either you do this on your own or with your iPhone or your IT communication team in your bank, or if you need, you can come to Brussels. We can organize a session here and you can do the video if you want. Thank you. Sorry, Edo.
Thank you, Luca. So then I take this ball to also disclose how to access this, let's say, video explanations of the various legislations. Currently, we have 16, and they're all available on our YouTube channel, but also they're accessible from the comparative database homepage. You just have to go on the cover bond label website, then you look for the comparative database section, and there you will find all the slides, so the slideshow of all the videos that have been recorded and published as of today. Here you can see actually what I was referring to 1 minute ago. It's about this new section, which is for the tutorials, which was thought to provide you with very simple guides on how to deal with the task that you have to do on the cover bond label website, amongst which indeed there is the renewal one, which we invite you to check. You will see that there is a little arrow, a little symbol behind below each video, which will allow you to share it also via email, via WhatsApp, Facebook, whatever tool you prefer, in order to share it also with other people in your organization who are actually responsible for carrying out these tasks. You will also indeed find the one for the renewal, so we invite you to check there, considering that as of tomorrow, the renewal for 2024 will be open. Here, instead, you see the way in which the advanced search for all the information that you have inputted into the database of the cover bond label are accessible. There's a different way to look for them. You already know the way in which we have decided to categorize each bond according to the label. So there's different symbols categorizing them, as well as you can see there's tiny green leaves showing which of the bonds are considered sustainable.
Okay, thank you, Edo.
Yeah, Daniele, I'll let you go.
Yeah, thank you. I was just referring to what Luca said before about the due diligence. Just to show you the terrific job most of labeled issues have done with linking their HTT on to our cover bond label website. If you watch on the bottom right graph, you can say that around 2/3 of labeled issues have the HTT reporting tools. So this little section where you can see in a graphic solution all the information on the HTT have already linked so and are doing it so also for every new HTTs. And we still see there are some who have not yet done so. We with Eduardo, we are also now in contact bilaterally with the various issuers, but we would like also to take advantage of this occasion to remind all of the issuers who, especially those who have not yet linked their HTT with the reporting tool, to do so. This is not just for us to see how nice your over collateralization is evolving or not, but it's also really we really see the interest and importance of this type of information, especially with legislators and investors, to check quickly and reliably the information which are hidden in an HTT file, in an Excel file, but and are, let's say, reported quickly on a graphic solution. And so especially investors in this way can quickly receive relevant information which will be influential with their also investment decisions. So these are really very important information which are which we provide as a service through this reporting tool. Let's take also advantage of
Maybe,
this point.
Daniel, just to stress again this point, we are in constant contact with investors, and we understand that it is absolutely important for them from a compliance point of view to have, as you said, graphic solutions. So making a stamp of your over-collateralization or your things can really facilitate the approval of the compliance. So we think that it's very important for us to secure that all of you will be using this instrument as soon as possible, because this can speed up compliance from the investor point of view, and also in this intense, I would say, supply chain, can improve the liquidity also of the market by securing that if you are on the cover bond label, if you have your graph all well done, this should not create any bottlenecks in the due diligence of the investors, and can speed up the process and probably allow you to save some basis point and move more quickly. So this is a very important. So our congratulations to our Dutch friends, our Spanish friends, our Danish and German friends, who are the ones that have more blue in their countries. But we really invite all of you to try to use this instrument, because this is critical in this moment for the market. Thank you all. Thank you, Daniele.
Yeah. And just to complete also this point, with our IT, we are also continue to work on comparative HTT database, in which we can, by extracting the information, make also comparisons between cover pools, or aggregating cover pool information of a certain jurisdictions, or overview also the evolution, the time evolution of certain indicators in the cover pools. So this is also further developments we are working now at. Final point here, you see in the bottom left, we always strive to provide you as much visibility as possible on the cover bond label website. We have also created a carousel on the homepage of the cover bond label, but we see still 1/3 of the issuers have indicated reciprocally our logo of the cover bond label and also the link to us. It's we would like also there to stress the importance of having a two-way channel of communication. So if in your section where you uploaded the HTT do not have yet uploaded the cover bond label logo and or the cover bond label website link, we kindly ask you to do so. So that will be also there a visibility for the label on your website. With this, we have concluded the informative webinar. We wanted to provide you this package of information. I would like to open quickly the floor to the audience if there are any questions you may have on any particular point we have touched upon, or if you have also other questions in general regarding the label, the HTT on the website, or so on and so forth. The floor is open. If there are none, I would say we can conclude this informative webinar. I give the floor to Luca for his conclusive remarks, and thank you all for your kind attention.
Well, thank you very much, Daniele. Thank you, Edo, for the comprehensive overview. I would like just to stress that we are here at your service. So we would like really to help you and support you over this difficult moment into the market. So count on us. Please, if you have comment, if something is not actually responding to your needs, please let us know. We are always ready to change, and we are always ready to improve our platform. As you have seen, we are also trying to build an important marketing event for the covered bond label community. Like, for example, the dinner in Munich in the Allianz Arena has been a moment where we had the chance to find new investors, to trying to discuss with the regulators directly. More will come. I mean, we are already preparing a new important event in Reykjavik in Iceland. It will be on the week of the 15th of May next year. So we invite all of you to be ready to join us in Iceland. But for the covered bond label community, we are also having a second webinar that will take place on the 21st, on Tuesday, the 21st of November at 2 o'clock, Daniel, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
It will be always 2 o'clock to allow. It's a good compromise for Canada and Singapore. Just that's why it's not that we want to spoil your afternoon, but it's just the perfect compromise for a global community to have a call at 2 o'clock. With this, I would like to thank you for your trust vis-a-vis the Covered Bond Labels Foundation, and we are always ready to try to improve and make sure that the covered bond asset class will represent an important pillar for the capital markets union and also for rebuilding the building stock in Europe and be part of the transition economy as a solution. Thank you all for your kind attention. If you have missed this video, this call, be aware that the video will be available starting from tomorrow on our website. Thank you all, and have a lovely rest of the day and the week. Thank you very much.